Julie, Billy's single mother, tried her hardest to impart all of her knowledge to her son. However, one day he came home dressed strangely and shabbily and refused to talk to her. Billy was finally ready to tell her everything, so she attempted to wait patiently, and the revelation shocked her even more. Welcome to USA Stories channel. Do not forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all new updates. Now let's go to the story. Billy said, "Okay, Mom, I'll see you later," as he went through the front door. He was running late for the bus, eating a bagel and hurrying out. Julie only grinned and waved. Billy wasn't the best student, but he was a conscientious young man. But Julie always made it clear that in order to qualify for a scholarship, he needed to perform well academically. Being a single mother, she was never able to pay for her own son's education. Julie provided Billy with everything he could possibly want, including a laptop, sports equipment, and appropriate school attire, even though Billy never went without. However, the cost of tuition was going up like crazy these days, so they would benefit from a scholarship. Julie was aware that Billy was making an effort in school, despite the occasional teenage misbehavior that all 15-year-olds experience. Still, she had no idea what was going to happen that night. Billy had called to tell her he and his pals were heading to the mall in downtown Miami. Not unexpected, considering that they occasionally visited the stores, ate at the food court, and roamed around. They needed to socialize because they were young. But Julie was astonished when, at the end of the day, she heard the keys in the front door and turned around. The first thing she noticed about Billy was his pale, dejected appearance. The second was that his clothing were old and soiled and didn't fit him. "Billy, what the hell?" She hurried up to him, still half shocked, and threw her arms around him hurriedly to console him. However, Billy also had a dislike for displaying a lot of affection. Being a less loving child, he felt that males should stay men. That was part of the reason his mother found his expressions so peculiar. Julie was unable to comprehend the extent of his efforts to suppress any feelings. For the time being, she only wanted to figure out what was wrong. Perhaps she ought to have pushed him to be more forthcoming about his thoughts and feelings. "Nothing," he said, advancing through the house. "No, hold on a second. What happened to your clothes?" Julie stopped him and said, "I remember exactly what you were wearing this morning." But Billy refused to look at her. "It's nothing," he said as he moved to his room, releasing her hand off his arm. The sound of the door slamming made Julie shudder, and she considered following him, but she wasn't sure whether it was the appropriate course of action. Perhaps he's having problems with girls. Perhaps that's what transpired in the shopping center. But hold on, what about his attire? Was he mugged by someone? Is he being tormented? Do I give his buddy's mothers a call? Julie had a lot on her mind and wanted to storm into her son's room and demand answers, but she wasn't sure whether it would be best to give him space. At last, she caught him entering the bathroom and turning on the shower. She chose to wait and let him cool off. Later, as Julie was preparing supper, Billy walked downstairs and took a seat at the kitchen table. Julie didn't say anything since she didn't want to frighten him away from his chamber. Billy, nevertheless, snatched up his fork and put it back on the table. He needed to get something off his chest before he could eat. He inhaled deeply. "Okay, I'm ready to tell you what happened," he said, giving his mother a contemplative glance. Julie only nodded, fearing that talking might cause him to become quiet. "This child was trying to enter the mall as I was leaving, but a security was preventing him from doing so. This child is one I saw at school. He's a freshman, and it's clear that his family is not well off." "I see," Julie muttered as she took a piece out of her food, seeing that her kid was refusing to eat. "Well, he was instructed to leave by the guard. For some reason, his statement that he wouldn't let any jerk into the mall astonished me. I paused and gave it some more attention. The child began to explain that he was going to purchase his sister a gift. The guard was not convinced. Billy disclosed refusing to eat. The boy even showed him his dollar bills, but it didn't matter. His mother urged him to ask, "What happened next?" "I grabbed the child, but he walked away. I asked him to take off his clothing so I could wear them in exchange, and I started to take off mine to offer to him because they were tidy and presentable." Billy said, "I told him to go through another mall entrance after we switched clothes and they let him enter without any problems. But he pursed his lips and set the fork down once again. But I simply die from it. It was all about his attire, really, Mom, as if there were a mall dress code. Sweetheart, occasionally security personnel are instructed not to admit those who appear strange or destitute. Perhaps it was his intention, Julie attempted to clarify. It isn't just. We're permitted in, after all. Isn't this a public area? Malls are private property, honey. The majority of individuals are welcome, but they must appear to be clients. Don't get me wrong, I do not condone the actions of the security guy. I suppose I'm simply playing devil's advocate. Please carry on. However, I must admit that your action makes me really proud of you. You are? Billy asked, raising an eyebrow in astonishment. Yes, you intervened to assist someone when you realized they needed it. Every mother wants the best for her child. I'm the happiest mom ever right now. All the young man wanted to do was spend his own money on goods. She reached across the kitchen table to grasp his hand and added, From what you're saying, it probably cost him a lot to save that money and he deserved to be treated with respect. Billy grinned at his mom, feeling comforted by her comments. He was saddened by the guard's actions, but he felt better after giving an explanation. Billy saw Charlie the next day at school, who gave back his clothing and told Billy he had gotten his clothes soiled while working for his dad on a construction site to earn some additional money. He couldn't change and returned to the mall before his sister's birthday celebration that evening because his residence was a little distance from the mall. Since he couldn't have purchased anything without Billy, he thanked him. Charlie and Billy become close buddies. Please remember to subscribe to our channel, give us a thumbs up, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any of our videos. If you enjoyed the tale, the next video that plays on your screen will probably move you too.